Welcome. To take this test, you need a headset with a microphone and a reliable internet connection. To start the test, please click Next. Please read sentence 1. Now read sentence 2. Now please read sentence 3. Part B. Repeat. Please repeat each sentence that you hear. For example, a voice says,
"Leave town on the next train."
and you say,
Leave town on the next train.
I don't really like your suggestions. Could you please explain your last statement? Instead of sitting here, we should do something.
Two guys came to lay the carpet.
Call Susan if you need more information.
Would you please ask Richard to come to my office?
The boss wants to see you immediately. Peter is a man to be trusted.
Not all trees lose their leaves.
The time you requested has been reserved for you.
If Mary's late again, she'll lose her job.
Drink plenty of fluids and get lots of rest.
When you go for an interview, be sure you're comfortably dressed.
The gardeners removed my favorite flowers while I was away.
Older cars are not as reliable as new ones are.
The new president touched on several controversial topics during the meeting.
Part C. Questions. Now, please just give a simple answer to the questions. For example, a voice says,
"Would you get water from a bottle or a newspaper?"
and you say,
A bottle.
or,
From a bottle.
What is the relation of Anna's father's mother to Anna?
To find out if it's noon, do you check a calendar or a clock?
Harold arrived at 11:45 for an appointment at noon. How early was he?
If you melt something, does it become a solid or a liquid?
What kind of power does a refrigerator use? What tool would you use to dig a hole in the garden?
Pamela is a good babysitter. Is she responsible or horrible?
Does a university educate or recycle students? Would you sit or stand to eat at the table? The truck is gaining speed. Is it going faster or slower?
When traffic is stopped at an intersection, what color is the traffic light?
Karen has a painful tooth. Should she see an artist or a dentist?
To throw a ball, would you use your hand or foot?
Is a train early or late if it's running ahead of schedule? Jordan postponed the event. Is it happening sooner or later than originally planned?
What vocal sound is usually made in response to something funny?
Are pianos and violins instruments or ghosts?
Are buses or books used to carry people around a city? What happens to snow on a warm day?
If you are going to the theater, will you see a play or will you see a football game?
Do people typically send out invitations or bills to a birthday party?
Is a queen hardware or royalty?
Brian is going for a swim. What should he bring to dry himself off with?
Which month immediately follows August?
Part D. Sentence builds. Now please rearrange the word groups into a sentence. For example, a voice says,
"Was reading. My mother. Her favorite magazine."
and you say,
My mother was reading her favorite magazine.
With my dog. I was walking. In the park. Must have been. Totally confused. Richard. They. By train. Regularly traveled. Immediately. Need to be signed. These documents. To leave. Before noon. 3 of them needed. Originally cost. The girl didn't know how much the coat. The couple. To stay longer. Asked
their babysitter. About the world's cultures. Learn. Often happened. Such accidents. Late at night.
Part E, Story Retellings. You will hear 3 brief stories.
Next week, our cousins are coming to visit us. We haven't seen them for over 10 years. When we were young, we used to play in the garden and ride bikes up and down our street. Now that we're older, we're all going to a nice restaurant.
A boy named John wanted to buy a new bike. After many months of begging, his parents finally bought him a new shiny red bike. The next day, John fell out of a tree and broke his leg. He could not ride his new bike for many months. A family went to the country to be close to nature. They saw some cows and a lot of grass. The father decided that they should eat in the middle of a field. It seemed like a good idea, but too many bugs bothered them as they were trying to eat. They moved back to the car and ate without being disturbed. The father said that they would take a trip to the city next time.
Part F, Open Questions. You will hear 2 questions about...
Sometimes friends do not agree about an important issue, and they cannot resolve the difference. What is the best way to handle an argument with a friend?
Congratulations. You have completed the test.